Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Sunday, June 18th, 2017 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is do not stray. Staying true to my soul passion keeps me connected and conscious. And I have a little funny story. I know I didn't get the horoscope out yesterday, so this is a little Mercury retrograde story for you. I had purchased a ticket back during Mercury retrograde to go see Danielle Laporte. And I thought about that when I bought the ticket. And I was like, la-di-da, it's not going to happen during Mercury retrograde. It's totally fine. And so I'm thinking, and I have it in my calendar, that I'm going up to San Francisco to see her on the 17th, June 17th. And yesterday I was talking with my friend, the 16th, who I was planning to meet there. And she's like, well, I'll see you later. And I was like, what do you mean? Not today, it's tomorrow. Then I had to rush and get myself there and all this stuff, and I was like, well, I'll get the horoscope done, and it didn't happen. And there was a lot of other things. My phone died. I had to navigate through the city without navigation, which I'm not very good at, but I was actually good at by tuning in, connecting to my intuition. It was a whole crazy Mercury retrograde experience. But I just want to point out, Mercury retrograde, not bad, but will cause mischief, like that kind of thing. So we don't have retrograde yet, to worry about, not to worry about, to deal with, to work through. Although I do feel that Mercury moving through Gemini has felt a bit retrograde-y. Just so you know, if you've been feeling like that energy, the Mercury mischief has been on high. So if you're experiencing other things like your phone being like, I'm not going to charge, I'm just going to die, and ta-da, navigate your way through San Francisco without it. It's okay, and you'll make it. Tune in. The universe is always with you. Your universe is always that internal GPS moving and grooving you. So, that being said, we come today with we're finishing up the last few days of Sun in Cancer. So, 27 to 28 degrees. And I always feel weird, like, when I miss a day, because it's like, there's always this kind of groove. So, it may feel like we're jumping a little bit, but we'll see if we can find this flow. Okay, so we have the moon in Aries. The moon in Aries and the other cardinal signs, Capricorn, moving my way backwards, so Libra, Cancer, all of the cardinal signs are engaged and operating. And we are in a bit of a cardinal cross energy. And also at the same time, we have a bit of a mutable T-square going on. So, in one hand, the cardinal's like, okay, I'm going to go for it, this is how I'm going to do things, and then on the other hand, the mutable energy is like, and I'm not really sure which way I'm going to go. So, this is the wisdom, ultimately, for it. Connecting to the consciousness, connecting to your inner GPS, and not letting the mind frenzy spin you out and about. I feel there are two big things happening today that I'm really feeling. We have the moon opposite Jupiter, and that Jupiter energy is in this yod, so it's like almost this like three-way arrow pointing right there at Jupiter. That's self-love energy. So we have that opposition going on, and we also have an opposition between Mercury and Saturn. That's the one where I think we're really going to be feeling this. When we have spinning in our mind all those things that we've learned, all the things that we've connected, both Gemini and Sagittarius are knowledge collectors. I am a Gemini Sagittarius. I am a knowledge collector. I'm like, oh, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing. That doesn't work for me. I'll put it on the shelf, but it's still there in the consciousness. And so here's where our knowledge collecting and then that inner wisdom that we're working on getting into with that Saturn retrograde in Sagittarius, letting go of the old beliefs, letting go of everything you've learned, unlearning what you've learned that no longer serves you. Or maybe not unlearning, but it's more like unwinding that energy so that it's no longer tripping you up, so that you no longer end up in this place where you're like, I'm not really sure what to do. I could do this thing, or I could do this thing, I could do this thing, I could do this thing. And with this mutable T-square going on, we may find ourselves in that place where it feels like there's so many options. The moon in Aries, though, is important. The moon in Aries remembers or reminds us of the importance of our I am vibration, to tune into who we are. And that moon opposite Jupiter with that Jupiter yod is reminding us to integrate, this self-knowledge, integrate the self-love, integrate the self-worth, integrate knowing who we are, having that relationship with ourself, all parts of ourself, the yin and the yang of ourself, the light and the dark of ourself, to be able to move forward. Now, I think it's really interesting that all of this is happening with Father's Day in the States. Happy Father's Day to any of the fathers out there, to my dad out in the ethers. What's also happening, which is very interesting, timing-wise, I was going to talk about this yesterday, but we're going to get to talk about it today instead. We have Pallas and Uranus also conjunct. Pallas is patriarchal energy. Patriarchal energy meeting up with Uranus, the liberation energy. And so there is some liberation from the old way, from the patriarchal way. And again, I'm not patriarchal or matriarchal. I want to find a balance arcle, maybe no arcle at all. How about just balance? How about just that integration? So today, through this self-love process, through recognizing your I am, through connecting to your consciousness, this is a really beautiful opportunity to notice where you may be holding on to these old energies that are no longer supportive for you, with you, on this path that you're in right now. The soul passion, the soul purpose, connected and conscious path that you are working and walking. With Father's Day energy and with this conjunction, one of the things I feel like we can all do to support this Uranus liberation energy would be to imagine, or maybe some of us don't have to imagine it, but for those of us who have to imagine it, imagine what it would be like to have the ideal father energy in our life. Because the fact is we do. Maybe not from our birth fathers, but the universe. There is in the universe that ideal, that beautiful, that balanced father energy that can help us, whether male or female or anything else, attune and tune into our divine yang energy in and through us that helps us show up for ourselves. To me, that's like one of the power points of yang energy, the energy that's like, I have the courage to show up and stand. And so we have this opportunity to liberate ourselves from that which does not feel right with that father, patriarchal energy anymore, and attune, evolve our personal stance in and through this. And it'll be interesting because there will be those of you who will be spending time with your dad. I will talk to my dad in the ethers, but, for those of you who will be standing in it, notice what feels good, and notice what doesn't feel good, and notice the things that don't feel good. See if you can liberate them from yourself, and the things that you do feel good, understand why they feel good, and how you can integrate that integration into your own personal path. Okay, so beyond that, we have the moon squaring Mars, and the moon squaring Pluto. So both of those interact with that Scorpio-ish energy. Mars is a co-ruler of Scorpio. Pluto rules Scorpio. So we have some of that Scorpio protection, reaction energy that may be coming out, especially if we do not feel safe and supported, which again, I feel like is one of the things that we get from balanced yang energy. Picking my words carefully to be as clear as possible. So notice if you are feeling that reaction, if that fire is coming up, it is overall a very fiery day with the sun at 27 degrees and the moon in Aries. There's firepower afoot. So if you are feeling that anger and that aggression, this may be a call for you to integrate and show up for yourself more rather than trying to seek these things outside of yourself, because that might show you that there's something not aligned at this time with your inner being. The other thing I want to talk about, there's so much going on in this astro, and like I said, we missed a day, so it's like, catching up. We have this Jupiter Yod actually becoming, exact, pretty much, tomorrow. We're going to have Venus opposite Jupiter, or not opposite, sorry, in conjunct Jupiter tomorrow, and we have Neptune feeding in the other thing. Now what I want to talk about with this is, again, this not a theory, this practice of self-love, this practice of showing up for yourself in this integrated manner instead of looking for it outside of ourselves. What was I going to say? I just made a post about this on my Facebook page. I think often we substitute looking out for others, kindness, what we consider to be kind and compassionate in the world, etc., for really showing up for ourselves and what we need. And this Jupiter Yod with Venus and Taurus, highlighting our worth on such a strong level. And this is at 13 degrees, which is that evolution. So there's the chance to level up, to evolutionize ourselves in and through this. And then Neptune, which has those karmic contracts. Neptune retrograde, which I want to mention one more thing with that. That Neptune retrograde energy, which is releasing us from those karmic contracts. Sometimes those karmic contracts are done. You're done with it. You've been there. You've gone through it. You've done the work. And yet it's still holding on. And sometimes what it is that's still holding on is you still actually holding on in and through it. It's you being like, well, I have to be nice, I have to be kind. And true story with me. I have to be nice, I have to be kind. And we're forgetting about self-preservation. We're forgetting about self-compassion. We're forgetting about self-love. The Yod at Jupiter is saying, this is important. Expanding in self-love. Showing up for yourself. Being there for yourself. Being the partner that you would want the world to be is all important. And in and through this, letting go of taking care of the world first, but being like, okay, I gotta be there for myself. It's releasing. It's completing the puzzle. It's completing this old energy that has held on. So see throughout the day, and if this is going to be through Monday as well, how do you show up for yourself? Again, this is also Pallas and Uranus coming together as you are showing up for yourself. Now, I'm going to give you a Spirit Cats card because everybody liked that. Oh, I was going to mention Neptune retrograde. Okay, one more thing. Neptune retrograde. I posted a long video about it. You can go back and watch that. Me and a few other people I've heard about have already been really processing. I had a dream last night where I woke up bawling from my dream. Deep, old stuff being brought up to my consciousness. I'm showing you the mind card, but the consciousness is right there. To my consciousness, and ultimately completed. But I've heard it from several people. So if this is happening, this is beautiful. This is good. It is helping you complete these old cycles and bring you into freedom. So this is Lucy. She is awake even in her dreams. Oh my gosh. One of her favorite things to do is to fly in a lucid dream. It is the most natural, free, and expansive feeling. You can go to outer space, imaginary lands, deep under the sea, to the top of Mount Everest, and through the earth itself, propelled simply by the power of your mind and your will. This little kitty is calling you to embrace that unbound freedom of flight and dreams. What are your wildest dreams? What is your craziest, most heart-expanding, joy-filled plan A? If you were completely free, what would you do? Freedom. Allow yourself to be free through your imagination, and allow yourself to be free through your imagination of showing up for the yang energy within you. And then to finish with the spirit cards, I know this is long, but, you know, making up for yesterday, right? I have the butterflies in the butterflies in gloom, and I also have the ferrets, the delicate fairy and her ferrets, and both of these cards are about change. Delicate fairy and her ferrets are like, change is good and natural, even though it hurts sometimes, and the butterflies in gloom are saying, after sadness, happiness and hope return. So we're in this spirit of change, and I don't know about you, but this week has been like a wowza week. So here comes the happiness. Here comes the butterfly. Butterfly is the animal of Gemini. So the Gemini process really is the butterfly process. Have you felt it? The cocoon, and then breaking free from the cocoon. I really feel like these last couple days and this day is kind of that breaking free of the cocoon. And then, you know, for the remainder of these few days of Gemini, we get to fly. So, that is it for today. I still have my reading sale going, $44 for 30 minutes. You can find that at GaiaBlooming.com. I'm sorry to have missed yesterday. I missed you all, but I am happy to be back, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.